Hey everybody, JokeFat here, back again with another video. This time doing a video that I wasn't expecting to make, but I'm happy to do it anyway. And that is, I was quite recently tagged in a video by my good friend here on YouTube, Maddwoba. He was tagged with one of those 5 random questions to answer about yourself, like that kind of video. At the end of his video, he tagged me to be the next person to continue on with the tagging trend and do a video and answer these questions. So I'll get right to it. And since I was tagged by Maddwoba, I thought I'd do this in a kind of Maddwoba style format video. So enjoy. So first question: what state do you live in? And if you guys have been subscribed to me for a while, then you probably know that last year, actually, I just moved to California from the New Orleans area. So I'm here in California. I'm up in the northern part of California. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, in the East Bay, if you are familiar with that. So I live up here in Northern California, where actually quite a few reviewers I know of on YouTube live in California. I guess it's a California thing or something. So yes, I am here on the west coast of the United States in California. The second question: how did I get into collecting? Now that's actually is kind of an interesting thing to think about, because a lot of people have like a certain moment where they can point out, okay, like, you know, I played with toys when I was a kid, and then I stopped collecting for like a period of 20 years, and then 20 years later something happened or something came out that just reignited that spark for collecting and action figures and stuff. But I don't really have that specific moment in my life where things just clicked like that. You know, perhaps it's because I'm still, you know, not to toot my own horn here, but I am a young guy. You know, I haven't really had a time, you know, to have a time where I'm not collecting. But I'd say probably somewhere in between the years, like around 2008ish, maybe. I have to say probably like the last time that I would say I played with toys, you know, like a kid, would probably be like when the first Transformers movie came out. Yeah, so I'd say probably just right after that is when I kind of transitioned into collecting, especially with, you know, around then is when, like, you know, the Legacy collection, and then not long after that the Vintage collection started for Star Wars. So I'd say around that time is when I started considering myself a collector and less, you know, just a kid playing with toys. But so yeah, not really. Yeah, I don't really have that specific moment like some of my fellow friends here on YouTube do. But then again, you know, maybe for a time, I know not to get into, like, you know, kind of foreboding about the future, but next year I do start college, so I'm not sure how collecting will continue for me then. So I may go into a period of time where I'm not collecting starting next year. But, you know, it's the future, you know, everything can change, is subject to change, so who knows. But anyway, so that's enough on that question. The third question, well, when Devil's Toys UK2 was the one that tagged Maddwoba, he phrased the question as, what does your significant other think of your video gaming hobby? Now, surprise, surprise, I don't have a significant other. I'm going to kind of change and alter this question to, what does your family think of your video gaming hobby? And yeah, I'd say, you know, I'm the only gamer in my family. You know, I'd say that the rest of my family, you know, they tolerate it, I guess. I mean, they don't, you know, they're not one of those, like, you know, we think of like the stereotypical family that's like, oh, you're wasting your time. They're not like that. But I'd say, you know, that, you know, they themselves do not partake in it, but they're perfectly fine with me doing so. So yeah, there's the answer to that question. Fourth question, what is your favorite game, specifically video game? And that's a really hard question. Gotta be perfectly honest, that is a very difficult question, because what I would consider my favorite game at the time, it would just change for what mood I'm in. I might be in a mood where I want to play a strategy game on the PC, like the Total War games. Or I might be in, a shoot-'em-up mood, and I might play something like the new Wolfenstein game. But, I'd have to say that just thinking back and what game has had the most impact on me, the greatest impact on me, and I'm going to kind of cheat here, and I'm going to say it's the Mass Effect trilogy. The Mass Effect games are just phenomenal. They are beautiful, beautiful storytelling epics. I mean, I honestly, I love those games, and it's Mass Effect 3, certain parts of that game, it's the only time that I've ever really been brought to tears by a video game, because you just develop such a deep emotional connection with these characters. Because, for those of you who don't know, Mass Effect is a science fiction role-playing game where you assume the role of Commander Shepard, and it's a trilogy of games, the story of Commander Shepard, and I don't really want to talk about the story anymore because it might spoil the experience for you, but just a fantastic, really emotional, great story-driven trilogy of games. They're also really fun to play, and just really atmospheric and everything. I cannot recommend the Mass Effect trilogy enough. They're just such amazing games, and really, in talking about trilogies, I'd say, the Mass Effect trilogy is up there with the original trilogy of Star Wars for me. It's a game trilogy that's really just meant a lot to me. And I think it's just like Star Wars, it's one of those things where you can, kind of learn life lessons just from partaking in it, it's a great trilogy. So, yeah, definitely the Mass Effect trilogy. I know that's kind of a cheat because it's it's 3 games, but it's one story, so I consider it all lumped together. So, Mass Effect trilogy, favorite games of all time. And finally, the 5th question, who was the first person that I was subscribed to? Again, that's kind of a really difficult question, because that's, not because of, whereas the previous question, I just had to think about, what is my favorite game? But this one, it's just, my memory, I don't really remember. I've had my channel, I've had a YouTube channel since, 2010. I didn't start making videos regularly until 2012, but I've had a channel since 2010, 2011, that time. So it's really hard to say. Honestly, I don't really know who the first person I was subscribed to, but I can say that before I even had a YouTube channel, I was watching YouTube videos, and it was actually quite crazy now, because when 2008, 2009, when I was, just thinking back to then, I was late elementary, around early middle school that time, and just thinking, I was watching Sith Lord 229's videos, and then now here we are, 2014. I'm making videos, and I've done a couple live streams with Sith Lord 229, talking to him, as, we're all here, part of the community now. So it's crazy just thinking back to, being a kid and watching these people's videos, and then, several years down the line where we are now, and, actually being an active member of that YouTube community. It's quite a crazy thing to think about now, but, yeah, so I'd say, I don't really remember who the first actual person was I subscribed to, but in terms of who I was, the first channels that I was watching, before I even had a YouTube channel, like I said, Sith Lord 229, a few others, Optibotimus for his Transformer reviews, and I'd say there was also a few others, a really great channel that is unfortunately not really, that has not posted videos in a while now, but DJ Mall's Cantina Tours. I really love those videos. It was pretty much like a channel centered around collection room tours, and this guy had a great, fantastic collection, and he'd have there's 30 parts to the Cantina tour, each one focusing on a specific display and stuff like that. I believe the channel is still around. You can look it up, DJ Mall's Cantina Tours. But yeah, he hasn't posted in a very long time. But yeah, so yeah, I was watching YouTube long before I even had a channel. So that's my answer to that question. So that's the end of all these. I guess the end of the 5 questions. It seems like it actually went through those at a relatively good pace. And I'm sorry I kind of cheated on a few of them with doing kind of multi-part answers and stuff like that. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this 5 random questions video. And in tradition, you know, when you have a tag video, you know, it's likewise you have to tag somebody at the end of your video. So I tag Tony, aka Darth Phoenix 619. So yeah, Tony, you've been tagged, and I hope to see what your response is to these 5 questions. So, thank you guys for watching as always. This is Joe Graffett, signing out. Bye.